Hello, good evening, and welcome. This is Resonance 104.4 FM, and I'm Steve Curran.
I'm Anne Scantlebury.
And we are One Life Left. We're 2/3 of One Life Left. Unfortunately, Simon Byron can't be with us this evening.
Oh, it's a shame. What's happened to him?
I'm not 100% certain, actually. I was convinced that I was him until I arrived this evening, and I was sat waiting for you and our guests, plural, upstairs, and I was chatting to someone else from Resonance, and she was talking about her journey home and how awful it was going to be because she lives out east.
Oh, yeah. What, east of London or the Middle East?
I believe it was East London.
Okay.
And so I wished her good luck in her travels, and I said, drop me a text when you reach your destination, just so I can be certain that you got home, right? Just off the cuff. And she said, yeah, sure. She said, I'll say, hi, Steve, stroke dad. Which I wondered if that was an arrangement that he had with her.
Are you her dad?
Steve. Yeah, so...
That's awkward.
Yeah, and you know what? I was too polite to correct her.
I guess we're all interchangeable anyway, right?
Do you think so?
Yeah, pretty much.
How have you been?
Been pretty good this week. Pretty good.
Still got the glasses?
Still got the glasses.
How are they going? How are they hanging?
Still on my nose.
Okay.
Good thing I'm going to keep them there.
Right, good.
Yeah, it's going good. How are your glasses?
Yeah, I mean, I'd class myself as an expert wearer.
Really?
It's been many years now.
Has
and
it?
I think, yeah.
I'm still a novice.
Right.
But yeah, it's working out still.
And then I saw you discussing on Twitter you were thinking about getting a perm.
Yes.
Right. So what's going on with your face then that requires such work?
Everything. You know, sometimes in life where you just think, maybe I need a bit more volume.
Right.
Maybe a perm's the way to go. Maybe it isn't. I haven't decided yet.
Okay, we'll keep us posted. When do you think you're going to make this decision?
Within the next 3 to 4 weeks, I think.
So
I think that's appropriate perm thought time.
So certainly by December the 14th?
Certainly by December
Maybe
the 14th.
you could unveil it.
Maybe.
You could unveil it with the help of one or both of our two guests.
What?
Yes. Who are we going to introduce first, Anne?
Let's go with that one first.
It's Keith Stuart, Father Keithmas.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm
ho,
good.
ho, ho, you
I'm
mean?
Good. I like the idea of a perm thought period.
That's why you're here?
It sounds like scientific, like
Right.
something Newton might have come up with. Newton's third law of perm dynamics.
So, I can't quite recall where we are with you. Are
Okay.
you the Guardian's games editor or not?
I am.
You
that.
are? Okay.
Yes, I
You
am.
got
Did you get the job back?
I always had the job, but it wasn't. I wasn't officially called.
No,
Games.
but we got you sacked.
Oh, yeah, it was taken from you.
I was sacked.
Yes.
I was sacked by Steve Gaynor live on this show.
Yes, yeah.
Somehow I managed to speak I talked to Alan Rusbridger, and
Did
he
you?
understood that maybe he shouldn't sack me on the basis of the meandering thoughts of an indie developer, and I got my job back. So yeah.
that's so
well,
good.
congratulations.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back. Do you have to start on probation again?
Yes, I'm making teas.
Right, good news. And then the other one that we've got in,
What?
it's Simon Parko Parkin.
Hello,
How
good
are you?
evening. Yeah, I'm pretty well. How are you guys?
Very well.
I mean, I've
Well,
already heard, but...
Very well. And again, forgive me, you're no longer with The Guardian, are you? You're with The New Yorker. Is this right?
Is this why you're sitting so far away from each other?
They are sat the furthest apart I've ever seen guests.
So awkward.
So you used to be with The Guardian, but now are you full-time with The New Yorker?
No, I'm still a freelance writer. So,
Okay.
So you'll literally write for anyone for any money?
pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah.
How are you doing, anyway?
It's
I was
going okay.
being all New York there for you.
I'm doing all right, thank you, yes.
Good. All right. Well, is this the first time we've had both of them on?
I think so.
At the same time, yeah.
It's going to be a fun show. We've got 52 minutes worth of stuff on the CD.
Look, we've only got to talk for another 3 minutes and then we can get out.
Stick it on. But let's start the show, as we always do, with Anne's News.
7:05 on Monday the 11th of November. I'm Anne Scantlebury and this is the news. Call of Duty Ghosts sold $1 billion worth of stock to retailers worldwide for the launch of the game. Well done to Activision on that massive, weird number. As massive as $1 billion is, it's still not as much as previous years, which Activision is blaming on next generation hesitation. Regardless, we would like to congratulate Activision on having $1 billion in the bank and would like to formally invite them to our Christmas party.
Consider yourself invited.
Yeah.
Bobby Kotick.
Bring the bank card.
Okay, so they've got $1 billion in the bank now then.
I'd say it's not in the bank, is it?
No, I know. That was just for jokes.
Oh, that's the point. No, it's not in the bank yet.
Okay.
They've just shipped that stock to the stores.
Yeah,
haven't
a
they?
lot of people got confused by this last week, didn't they?
Were they doing it to confuse people?
Well, it just seemed like a strange thing to say because GTA 5 came out 3 days after it was released and said, hey guys, we've sold $1 billion worth of GTAs. And we're like, whoa, that's the biggest thing ever. And then Activision on the day after COD, what are we on now? COD
Ghosts
came out, said, hey guys, we've shipped in $1 billion worth, which is entirely different. And what I didn't understand about this was with Rockstar, they can say, hey, like, ka-ching, we've received $1 billion, or shops have taken $1 billion. Now, for Activision to say that they've sold $1 billion worth, they have to know what every copy ended up selling for, surely. Do you know what I mean? Because like Amazon was selling it slightly slightly cheaper than
because
HMV.
They sell it into the retailers at a set amount.
Price, right?
Yeah.
So in which case, then that number is much lower than GTA 5 because do the maths.
I don't want to.
Let's do it. Let's do the
Get your
maths.
pens out, everybody. Write down $1 billion. So saying that they've sold $1 billion worth of so. Are we saying that Activision got $1 billion?
No, they've just shipped.
They've shipped
content that is worth that theoretically, but they don't know. They're not saying how much they've actually had back or anything like that. Because I guess stores can do returns and stuff.
Yeah,
I guess.
Maybe they've only had £5 back. That'd suck.
Interestingly, Rockstar got in trouble for this, didn't they? Around the time of San Andreas, they were claiming it wasn't Rockstar; it was whoever the publisher was at the time got in trouble because they were saying this. They were basing their bonuses off the amount that they'd shipped.
Were
to stores.
they?
And they were fined a lot of money in America
from their bonuses.
What do we base our bonuses on?
I don't know. That's a very good question. Let's think on.
Valve is inviting people to sign up for the Steam in-home streaming beta. Closed testing will begin before the end of the year. Speaking at the announcement of the Steam Machine prototype, Valve explained, many of those users would like to have a way to bridge the gap into the living room without giving up their existing hardware and without spending lots of money. We think that's a great goal and we're working on ways to use our in-home streaming technology to accomplish it. Valve's recently revealed Steam Machine prototype is 12 inches long and 2.9 inches high, meaning that sadly it won't fit into your average size handbag.
It's a shame that, isn't it?
It's a real shame.
Bigger handbags.
Got a massive handbag.
Incidentally, before we move on to discuss this one, who do you think is winning out New Yorker and Guardian in terms of comment?
The New Yorker's got it
Seems
at the
to be,
minute.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
it's a little bit
More
embarrassing.
definitive.
Keith,
Yes.
what do you think of this?
Steam Machine. Well, it's
specifically Steam's the streaming that they're trialing.
The stream.
Stream
Dreams.
That's just too it's too rhyming for me. I don't really understand what's going on. I don't know where Valve are going with this. Whether they are genuinely coming up with a proposition that they see as beating not only consoles but everything else that's happening in the living room space in terms of what set-top box providers are trying to do. It seems as though Valve are making a play for the living room that it's a small fraction of people that are really going to understand this. Surely, there's lots of people online that think Steam Machine and streaming content, that's fascinating and incredible. But there's lots of people sitting at home with their little PC and their consoles thinking, we don't really understand what this is, even if they've heard of it.
There's a lot of discussion about things that are happening in the future and the prototype of the Steam controller and all of that sort of stuff. I mean, I think broadly speaking, Steam can do little wrong, can it? Even when it removed a game from the library, from everyone's library this week, people were like, yeah, should have come to expect that. And there's no doubt that streaming as hardware or the processing power of hardware can be remotely can be done remotely. Streaming is going to be a very efficient way of getting high quality games onto your TV. So I thought about signing up for this, but then I thought I'm probably unlikely to get picked.
Is that why you haven't signed up? Because you might not get picked?
Yeah. I mean, what I've done is I've eliminated all doubt from that now.
Right, I'm definitely not getting picked.
Yeah, but I think it's... so we're going to see PlayStation 4 introduce streaming next year, aren't we, through Gakai?
Yes, through Gakai, yes.
Interested to see how that works, because my previous experiments with streaming, i.e. on live, have not gone too well.
No.
Is it still going?
And I don't know. This is what I was wondering the other day, actually, because I've got an unopened online console in
I've never got mine out of the box, but it's on my shelf. It's really good for storing letters on.
I used it to keep my office door open for a while.
Get ready to throw a party. The PlayStation 3 has sold 80 million units. Those figures were as of the 2nd of November, so it's probably sold another couple of mil since then. Sony was pleased to report that the 7-year-old console has had 4,332 games released for it, with another 300 due over the holiday season. To celebrate, Sony got the PS3 a cake and its P45.
A lot of this sort of thing coming out at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, loads of numbers. We've done this many.
We did do this many. And what was interesting about that figure of PlayStation 3 sold?
It's not very good.
No?
Well, no. When you think PlayStation 2 sold 150 odd million.
What's Xbox on now? 360 on.
Wow, that was what I was alluding to. You're getting some points back here, The Guardian.
Thank you. Yes, thank God
actually,
for that.
it appears that both of them have sold similar amount when everybody assumed Xbox 360 had dominated.
Really?
I think they're roughly both on around 8. I think Xbox is on around 80 million as well. So.
How many games had come out on Xbox? Did they come out with that
4.
one? Was it?
Yeah, it's just
there's
4.
the brown one,
Yeah.
the drivey one. Are we sorry to see things starting to be wrapped up now? 4,332 games.
I'm so sad.
Are you?
Yeah, it just feels like, come on, babe, you've done enough. Get out. Just 80 mil, that's all right, isn't it? But just, we're winding you down.
They're there now. We're just going to tuck you in. They're there, PlayStation 3 now.
Ship you off to Switzerland for a nice holiday.
Now.
This pillow's going to feel so nice over your face.
Good night, love you.
Don't blame it on sunshine, don't blame it on moonlight, don't blame it on good times, blame it on We Karaoke You. Nintendo has confirmed that the app, which allows users to perform karaoke as their Me avatar, will have a warning added after it was discovered that some of the uncensored songs available contain explicit lyrics. The app already has a note saying that the songs aren't PEGI rated and has restrictions available through the parental controls. Please be careful when karaokeing, it's a dangerous adult business.
How do we feel about this?
Brilliant.
Do we?
Yeah, because I hate it when they censor karaoke songs. This is such a good thing.
Okay, can you think of any examples of karaoke censorship?
Yeah, loads. That CeeLo Green song.
Okay, so how does that go? See, I'm driving round town with a girl like you, and I'm like...
Exactly.
Doesn't even rhyme, does it?
Don't they do the F dash though in modern karaoke on the screen? And isn't it slightly more fun because you get to improvise your own swears?
What, so you're like, delete all swears from songs, but just put a little dash in there so people can think up their own. It'll make
brackets improv.
User-generated content.
Can you imagine, though, the inquiry into this? Like, because the way that you described that story, Anne, you said that it was discovered that some songs... You what?
We've got some Eminem songs on there.
Yeah. Oh, great.
I think they're probably going to be all right for kids.
Is it a problem that it's not PEGI rated? Sorry, you said...
That's what they said. There's a note that says, these songs aren't PEGI rated.
You're on your own out here.
Yeah. This one's 18 plus.
Good luck.
And finally, a Dota 2 player has sold an ethereal flame pink war dog courier for $38,000 to a human person who has paid $38,000 for an ethereal flame pink war dog courier. The very rare, highly sought-after item is one of only 4 known war dog couriers who are pink with an ethereal flame visual effect. We were going to suggest that you could have got about 4,000 shares in the Royal Mail for that money, but to be fair, the Queen isn't a pink war dog, she doesn't have an ethereal flame visual effect, and her so-called Royal Mail courier service is sometimes not very good. So we'll save the sarcasm and say congratulations instead.
didn't understand any of this.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's probably the third or fourth time I've come across that story.
Yeah.
And no idea.
Pink dog.
What's a dotter?
One of them big ones
Right.
with loads of people in it.
Is it? And I've never played.
You've never played Dota?
Right. So do you know what it stands for, Anne?
Something ancients.
Yeah, very good.
Something ancient.
Yeah, sure that. Ancients begins with a T, Simon.
It's Defence of the Ancients.
Yeah,
actually,
that.
I've been playing it with all my mates. I haven't. No, I've never played it. Keith, have you?
A couple of times.
What was
Not
it
that
like?
much.
Did you buy a pink thing in it?
I didn't. During my time with that game, I never felt I had to spend $38,000 on an object, even however
If you
flamey it
had
was.
so much money, would you? Like, is that something that you would ever spend that much money? If you had, like, infinite monies, is that something you would ever that would even cross your mind to buy it if someone was selling it?
It absolutely would not. And this is a kind of an old story which has come up several times over the
brand new to
period
me.
of. Well, no, this itself isn't, but the whole idea of people paying astronomical amounts of money for virtual goods has been around since we started getting microtransaction games. There's been like several occurrences like this of people paying ridiculous amounts of money for virtual goods which don't have any kind of ethereal existence. And
it's not even close to the most either. Like someone spent like 200,000 on a house in some game, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
But maybe you're not interested because you don't play Dota. What about a game that you cared a lot about? So you could get an exclusive Minecraft block.
That was pink.
I'd pay a tenner.
And look like a dog.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd pay a tenner for a pink Minecraft dog block.
A house made out of dogs.
A house made out of pink dogs.
With an
I'd
ethereal
pay-
flame visual.
Well,
Where do I pay? Where do I give my $38,000?
Right here. Right here.
Notch is an avid listener,
Yeah.
and we made him, of course. So
Of course.
expect to see a pink dog-shaped brick in Minecraft soon. Thanks, Anne.
One Life Left video game news with Anne Scantleberry.
Hello, I'm Sega Badawi and welcome to One Life Left local news. There has been further fallout from the Zachem WikiLeaks story. A local newspaper has reported that the Capcom province has been using a monkey to spy on world leaders' conversations. The monkey uses its tail as a helicopter blade to hover above the leaders while they talk. Using this method, the monkey found out that King Bowser was not actually keeping Princess Peach where sources believed she was being held, and it is now thought that she is being held in another castle. It was also revealed that Dr. Robotnik makes the majority of his telephone calls from his throne as he is constantly egg-bound. We'll keep an ear out for any further Zachem WikiLeaks and we'll also notify you of any changes. Thanks, and back to your usual programming.
You're beaming, Anne. What are you reading?
Nothing. I'm just sending a message to my flatmate.
Okay, nice. What about? Is there anything that we can help with?
It's a picture of you, actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
She really likes you.
Right, well.
Big fan.
Yeah. No, what is that's me wanting to stop the cuts to
legal aid,
which
we support.
Which we support.
We support not cutting legal aid.
Exactly.
We do not support cutting legal aid. Done.
We've just written a letter to Nick Clegg about it.
Nicholas?
Oi.
So, yeah, and we were chatting about some other stuff off air. Do you know, last week, Anne and I could not work out why there was no sound coming out of those speakers when
We did know why, because, so basically, when one of the faders is up, the sound doesn't come out over the speakers in the studio. And I was like, well, they're all definitely down, they're definitely down. The thing that we didn't take into account was that Simon had brought a newspaper into the studio and had put it so that the newspaper was over one of the faders, so we couldn't see it, so it remained up.
So apparently in last week's show you could hear us chatting. Very dangerous. So one of them got changed. But
did one of them not?
No, one of them didn't. That one didn't have that stuff on it. So if you ever get the opportunity to come and be a guest, then please do, because you can come and listen to it live. It's going all right, isn't it? The Guardian.
Seems like it. Yeah.
How about you, the new Yoika?
Yeah, 7 out of 10.
That was before this. We heard from Sega Badawi, our local news correspondent. Thank you, Sega Badawi. And this is the Master of Magic theme by Anders Hulsborn. He remixed it, of course. Rob Hubbard wrote it, as we all know.
Rob.
Hubbard. You can download that from remix.kwed.org. How's it going, Keith?
It's going all right. Yeah, thank you, Simon.
How much money have you made today?
£15,000. Well, not me personally.
That's the games editor of The Guardian.
Yeah.
I have to say that. Yeah. So, like many of our guests, and also the majority of the staff, you appear to have a Kickstarter.
I do. Yeah. It launched yesterday, and we're looking for 30,000, and we've got halfway there.
Congratulations!
So thank you very much.
What's it for?
It is a book, a coffee table art book about the Megadrive called Sega Megadrive: The Collected Works, and it's from Read Only Memory Publishing, who you had on the show.
We did
a couple of months ago.
Sensible Software guys.
They did a Sensible Software book, and that was their first book. And the Megadrive book is their second one. And we've been working on it for about 8 months.
Wow.
And we launched it yesterday, and it's been just doing really, really well.
Were you nervous?
I was, because for me, obviously, I inputted a lot of my time and effort into this thing, and I was thinking, please don't let this have all been in vain. Please don't let my children starve.
Please back.
Actually, that was in the video, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was just holding your kids up and taking food from their mouths.
Look at these children.
Smacking them.
Yeah.
You don't have to smack them.
I know, I just did that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I said, if you want me to stop smacking them.
So it's all written, is it?
I mean, I've written a kind of 12,000 word essay on the importance of the Mega Drive, and I've done 20 interviews with Sega Japan developers, designers, producers. Amazing. Some of them have never really been interviewed before. Some of them everyone will know, like Yuji Naka, Yu Suzuki. I've spoken to them, but some really interesting characters who worked on games like Phantasy Star that were really, really important. It's been really interesting, and Sega have been amazingly supportive and found all of this bizarre stuff out of the archives and things that you would have thought had lost. There's a concept art for old Sega games and lots of the old blueprints of the Mega Drive, and it's been good. And I've spoken to lots of execs in the States who worked in Sega America when it first started, and it's fascinating stuff.
So why did you pick the Mega Drive as a subject out of all the other consoles?
I think, it was Darren, the owner of Read Only Memory. He's a massive Mega Drive fanatic, and he saw in this machine a really kind of pivotal moment in game history, I think, and I sort of agree with him, which is why I agreed to do it. I think the Mega Drive was the point at which gamers, the whole idea of gamers came about. Like before that, games were something you did, at the arcade, or you might buy a games console for your family. But I think with the Mega Drive and the SNES era, it was the era where gamers really self-identified and thought of themselves and identified themselves as gamers. And I think Mega Drive was really at the kind of pivotal moment of that. And a lot of what we think about of games and games design, I think, started with the Mega Drive. Things like Sonic the Hedgehog, obviously, Phantasy Star, obviously. Games like this really set into motion a lot of the ways we think about game design now. I think it was a really important console, and I absolutely loved it.
So you owned one at the time?
Well, yeah, my dad bought a Mega Drive. I started my A levels at college, and I'd sort of come out of the Commodore 64 era, and I went to college, and I was sort of more interested in booze at the time. I discovered booze and girls, and my dad bought a Mega Drive, so it was my dad's really. I know
exactly.
That's exactly
you
what
could
I
be the
said.
Guardian's girls editor.
As I stumbled in at night and found my dad playing FIFA on the Mega Drive. So yeah, and it's it kind of has really good memories for me. Really, as a family sitting down playing PGA Golf Tour with my dad and playing FIFA with my dad, and it's just really nice personal memories. But the more I talk to people about the Mega Drive who were around at that time, it did have that. Even the SNES had that sense as well of. Lots of people I know began their journey into games on these machines, and the machines were so beautifully made, and the games were so wonderfully designed that it's just been amazing talking to the people that made the games.
I bet. And what have you learned personally then as part of these interviews? Have you had difficulty tracking anybody down? Have you found anything out?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's weird how many people in the industry were actually started out on the Mega Drive, and it's what's been fascinating about it was finding out how kind of ad hoc the British games industry was in the late 80s, and how kind of do-it-yourself it was. Like, I was speaking to lots of people at Virgin who were the sort of the European distributors for Sega at the time, and they were saying they were doing things like developers, when they had to increase the ROM on a cartridge when they were making it, they'd snap on when they were making games, they'd kind of like physically snap on ROMs onto cartridges themselves to test their code. There was no kind of official development unit they used. It was all really kind of hands-on DIY stuff that was really fascinating. The funniest people I've spoken to are people like Trip Hawkins, who told me so much. I interviewed him on the phone, and he was driving through California at the time. He was on the highway in his car, and he just said, I've managed to get him, and he just said, put your tape recorder on, and I'm just going to go, and I'm going to tell you everything.
Okay.
And for the next 30 minutes, I didn't say a word.
Wow.
And he told me the history of Electronic Arts and how it got involved with the Mega Drive, and how it was really involved in how it reverse engineered the Mega Drive technology, and then pretty much held Sega to ransom.
You might.
Over it. And then he said, "Oh, I'm here now. I've got to go. Bye." Clunk.
Right.
And that was
it. Where was he driving from and to?
I don't know. I didn't ask. It was just I was kind of dumbfounded by the fact that he just said, "Right, put your tape on. Here we go."
Right.
It's meant to be one of the best ways to interview a person is to get them driving and to either sit next to them. Yeah, because stream of consciousness.
Should we get the One Life Left car?
Let's do that. Yeah.
Brilliant.
What make would it be?
It'd be a family car for sure.
So
that wasn't what I was expecting.
So before we move on to Simon, we can find this on Kickstarter at the moment. When's it running until?
It's running until December the 9th. And I think the basic book is, I think it's £25.
That's sold out.
Has it?
Yeah, it has sold out. There's 100
that's the
early birds.
So after that, it's £35.
Yep.
So basically, my thing here is, obviously, Simon, you've got your Kickstarter. How are you doing?
They're very well, thanks.
Really, how well are you doing?
Very well indeed.
How? Well,
£6,700.
And how much did you do today, Keith?
15 grand.
Okay.
Well, how many backers though?
I don't know.
If you're losing on the total, I think that the number of backers.
Okay, how many backers have you got? What is this, like top Kickstarter
Yes.
top trumps?
Yes, it is.
I think we've got like 300 or so.
Well, I've got more.
Okay.
So I backed Simon for 20 quid, and your minimum now is 35.
Exactly.
So I'm unfortunately, due to fairness, not going to be able to back you.
That doesn't sound that fair to me. You should, maybe you'll be tempted by some of the stretch goals.
You better have good stretch goals.
Well, I see. I bet you wish that you'd accepted backers as currency now, because then that would be fair. One backer, one person, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But not Keith's all about money. I am going to back it. I haven't done today. That's the reason I know that it's that the early bird is sold out. But I am going to do it. I didn't want to do it just before we came on the show. Because I know as somebody who's in the middle of a successful Kickstarter campaign that it feels very odd seeing the names of people that are coming in, and so I didn't, but I will. I think we're going to play some music actually before we come to you, Simon. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Please do.
Parko's tapping along to this one.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying this.
Do you know what it is?
No. Oh, wait, is it Beyonce?
No, it's not. It's the main theme from Delta, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about old games, Keith. Keith's on the phone.
Sorry.
Keith's on the phone and he needs a wee.
But he's going to hold on.
Yeah.
So
That's
Going to
good.
be tense for the next part of the show.
we should have interviewed him and poured water.
Well, maybe we can get some. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to play features. If you want to go for a wee now, during
You're
the
not
feature,
going to do it, are you? You're going to diss me.
I promise you, we're going to play the entirety of this feature. Okay.
I need
Okay.
to go together, so...
Okay, it's time to. Whilst the New Yorker and the Guardian make up, we're going to listen to Cara Ellison.
Hello, I'm Cara Ellison, and welcome to Electric Dreams, a section of One Life Left where I write a lonely heart's ad for a video game character, put it on the internet, and then see what I can learn from the replies. From this, I hope to gauge which game characters have the most attractive traits. This week, I was kicked off Craigslist, possibly because people flagged me too much for pretending to be Cara Ellison. Instead, I decided to trawl dating sites, looking for Joanna Dark's perfect love. I reckon Joanna would look for tall, dark, handsome, someone who impersonates Martin Hollis's other famous protagonist, James Bond from GoldenEye on the N64. This means I've eliminated anyone who doesn't drink, martinis are a must, and someone who likes violence and setting up mines in a building. Or someone who is likely to set up mines in a building. Anyway, let's see if Joanna Dark has any luck after the break.
What did you make of that, Keith?
Oh, interesting.
Sorry, no, Keith, speak up. Why has he gone quiet?
Can you hear that little tinkle?
We've lost a guest to the toilet. I said we're going to put this feature on, and he said, all right. And then did he ask you if you were genuinely going to go to the toilet with him? Simon, so you're the odd one out amongst the boys in the room because
Right.
you're not currently scrabbling around. You're not dirtying yourself with a Kickstarter campaign, are you?
No, right, yeah, that's... so the difference with me is if people give me their money, they'll get a book.
Well, that's something that actually exists rather than just a pipe dream from someone with a leaky bladder. So you've... Oh, yeah, hello, Keith.
Oh, God.
Hey, Keith.
What did you think of Cara's feature?
Oh, it's brilliant.
It made water come out of you, didn't it? And now you're going to put some more in.
I know. I feel dehydrated now.
26 minutes to go. So, Simon, tell us about your book, your actual book.
Okay, yeah. So I have a book out this Christmas called An Illustrated History of 151 Video Games, and it is or will be available to buy on Amazon and in shops and things like that.
Are you doing an
Amazing.
audio version of it?
No, but yeah, open to discussions, Anne.
Yeah.
Do you want to start those discussions now?
Not really.
Who would play Parko?
Keith.
I mean, I should just stress I'm not a character in this book.
What?
So you've brought it in with you, have you? Can we take a look at it?
I have, yeah. Let me pass it.
So
over.
that's-
The first thing that I noted was it does have a dust jacket. Keith, is yours going to have a dust jacket?
Ours is just got a matte.
Because
cover.
their last one did.
The last one did,
Sensible,
yeah. Did
software one did have actually the best dust jacket I've ever seen on a book.
So much pressure.
Remember, I work with
Was it
books.
the same budget? Because
think
if
that one was
not,
slightly
maybe
more
this is a
expensive, wasn't it?
scandal.
So back to your book, Simon. I think we talked enough about Keith's. So why 151?
It's just a number.
It isn't. It's certainly that,
Yeah.
but it's an odd. I mean, it's literally an odd number, isn't it? But why 151? Could you because as someone who's written a book about games,
Right, yes.
we chose 50.
Yes.
50 books, and
Okay, yeah.
because that's like a nice number, isn't it? Not
Yeah, I
like
guess. Why, what's
it a
wrong
prime
with
number?
151? Oh, geez, I don't know.
Pick a number. Someone pick a number.
32.
32. Hang on.
So, so tell us about the how did you select the games?
Well, so this is I tried to pick games that were not just popular, but games that kind of introduce new interesting game systems and mechanics, or ones that popularised a genre, one that started a genre, things like that. So,
For example, number 32, Final Fantasy.
right, yes, okay. I mean, I guess.
That is one of the
That is one of the
spoilers.
numbers.
So what's the earliest game that you've included?
It is Computer Space.
Oh, of course.
Yes, and I address this in the introduction because there are video games games and indeed other non-video games that predate that, surprisingly. And so, yes, but you have to start somewhere, and this was the first game that was commercially available as an arcade
What was
machine.
the game before that? Was it Space War? Was that the first one?
So Computer Space is the arcade version of Space War.
And that was Tennis for Two as well, wasn't it?
Tennis for Two,
William
yes.
Higginbottom. And 1958, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
It seems to me that the Guardian is trying to muscle in on your 151. Sorry, Simon, you're going to say?
No, just that Computer Space was the first game that was available on the commercial market.
And are these all your personal choices?
Yeah, that's right.
So, you agree with all of them?
Yeah, I do. And some of them, of course, are just in there because I like those games.
That's great.
They're not necessarily that important.
We had,
to me.
when we did our book a few years ago, we had to include some for the American market.
Did you?
Yeah, we did. We had to put Madden in.
Oh, okay. I did put Madden in.
As far as I know, it didn't sell in America. So yours was a similar tactic that you just wasted one of that. But actually, you've got more to waste. So,
yeah,
in a sense, we gave away more than you did.
Yeah, no, I think Madden's a pretty important game, isn't it? For
never played it properly.
Right.
So
it was important on the Sega Megadrive, which you can read more about.
So are they in any sort of order?
Yes, they're in chronological order.
Okay.
What? Explain that.
So, in fact, this is interesting because to find the release dates for the very early games it is very difficult. So some of the earliest Atari and arcade games, at best you could get a year, and actually trying to nail it down to a month or even a day was sometimes impossible. And a lot of the companies no longer exist, so it's very difficult to find out who owns the image rights and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, all of that side of things was the right pain.
And how did you wrote each entry? Did you? So you've written the whole lot?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
it's a lot of words.
That is a lot of words, isn't it?
It was. Yeah, I don't know. It was 100,000 words, and I did it in 6 months. So and then needed like 3 months to just lie in bed and go, oh my gosh.
Wow.
And it was unnecessarily kind of condensed because then it was like a further year of design. So the designer on the book is Terry Stokes, who will be known to some
the old Edge designer.
Yeah. So and I think it's got a kind of Edge circa 2000 look to it.
Right.
So.
It certainly looks lovely. I know Metal Gear Solid doesn't appear to be in here.
Oh no, yes it does.
Is it? Well, it's chronological. Yeah. Oh, hang on a second.
What number is it?
I like that you're fact checking.
Well, it's just that. Well, the reason I ask is that I remember finishing. Oh no, sorry, I'm confused. It was Half-Life, Ocarina of Time, and Metal Gear Solid. They came out next to each other, so I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I won't check, but let's just say that they definitely are. So, was it difficult revisiting these old games and finding something new to write about them?
Yeah, in some cases, yeah. Some of the games I wasn't too familiar with, but I knew they were important. So, like Meridian 56, I think, was like the first MMO.
Yeah.
And
Meridian 59.
That's it. Thank you. 59,
And what number is it?
Do you have a Kickstarter for that?
No, I just have a penchant for facts.
Penchant for pedantry.
So some of those games I had to go and have a go of, and that game is still actually going, although in a slightly different iteration.
So when's it out?
I think it's out at the start of December. I think they're waiting for the boat to turn up with them on. This is like an advanced copy.
You have got a boat.
Yeah, it's a family boat.
There is. It's funny. There's a lot to be said for a book. Because my first job in the games industry was writing for a magazine, and every month you'd go to W.H. Smith's and put them out over all the copies of CU Amiga or Amiga Power or what have you. I was writing for the one, and so every month you used to get this thing in your hand and sort of flick through it and all the rest of it. But it was only after I had a book published that my mum started to become really proud of me, and it's strange that books still carry that sort of.
Are you doing this to make your mum proud of you?
I was going to say, it still hasn't happened for me. It's just a constant disappointment.
So, it looks lovely. I'm just going to check it smells nice. It does.
What's it smell of?
It smells of new books, and it smells of
history.
your words. It smells of Meridian 56. So it's out soon. Can you pre-order it from Amazon?
Yes, you can.
Are you going to have a launch party?
It's $14.99, I think, or maybe cheaper on Amazon.
Are you going to? We had a book a launch party for ours.
I was there.
Yeah, we lost money on it because we kept giving them away. Don't have a launch party, but you're coming to the One Life Left Christmas party, aren't you? One Life Left in the Guardian Christmas party.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe we can
I'll
do
be
some
there,
stuff upstairs.
Do I have to dress up again this year?
Yes,
We should talk about this more later.
Okay, but before we do that, we are going to just hear from Science Officer.
Science Officer update. After over 3 years floating in deep space, this human specimen was eventually recovered from a damaged escape capsule. The human male has since returned to active duty. His ship recently came under attack from insect-like space pirates.
Science Officer's audio log. So we survived that firefight with the insectoid aliens, probably because I broadcast vital xenomorphic information to our Marines in real time rather than pre-recording it. The captain did not dig this breach of protocol, though, and for a while it looked like I was going to be busted down to science janitor. I got away with it, though it was made clear that if I continued with any improvised skeet shooting on duty, I would be mustered out at the next supply pickup. Later, I was in the lab, reassembling the optical resonator when the doors swish open, and in strides this Marine, still in full battle armor, scorched and reeking of cordite, an ugly gash sliced deep across their protective faceplate, what looked like the last desperate swing of an insectoid pirate. The Marine's external comm speaker crackled. "You the science officer?" I nodded. The damaged faceplate folded in on itself, and suddenly I was looking at a girl, a woman, a redhead. At least the stubble looked red. I glanced at the ID tag soldered onto her chest plate. Corporal J. Stenserfield. A martial name. A beautiful name. "Thank you for what you did today," said Corporal J. Stenserfield in a deep yet sonorous voice. "That intel made the difference out there. Me and the guys, we appreciate it." It was... My words trailed away. She acknowledged them with a curt nod, spun on her heel, and marched out of my lab. I stood there, still holding the optical resonator. It's stupid. The biggest part of my job is making audio logs, and somehow I still don't know how to talk to people. But today, I decided that was going to change. Science Officer, out.
Email, messages, and forward BCC. One life letters.
Not too many letters this week, despite the fact we have a fantastic prize on offer.
We do, don't we?
We do, yeah. So it's going to go to, basically, if you write a letter in this week, you've got a 1 in 3 chance of winning it, unless you're out of the country, in which case you've got a no chance because it's heavy. We can't afford the postage.
Simon, put Simon's book in your bag and give that away next week.
Okay, yeah. Good thinking.
Do it now.
Okay, Anne, you've got a letter, don't you?
It just says Steve Curran, Simon Byron, Scoop Scantlebury. This isn't really a video game, I'm afraid, but I thought it was exactly the type of crazy game that you guys at One Life Left would love. It's a giant jelly bean jar counting competition, and you can find the site at www.thejellybeanjar.com and also at www.funday.net. Enjoy! Hermes.
Did you look at this?
I didn't.
I did.
And?
It's just a massive jar of jelly beans.
And you have to guess.
That are filled that are taller than a man.
It's quite a lot of jelly beans.
That is taller than a man. And they just and apparently the total quantity you can discern by watching videos. And I'll be honest with you, I did think about it, but then I had other things on the internet to look at and didn't. So
maybe I'll look at this thing on the internet.
You can win a lot of money.
Is it money or jelly beans?
Money. No, but if it was jelly beans,
yeah.
Keith.
Hello team, brackets
Hi.
minus D, close brackets, and super special guest, which is obviously referring to me. It seems that Cara is having trouble getting a feature ready on a regular basis, so I've had a thought. After that thought, I came up with some other features that your friends in the game press could help with. Lee on C. Lee Alexander interviews people about C programming language after they've been singing karaoke for 2 hours straight in a bar in Southend.
That's very good. We should explain to our North American listeners, i.e. Lee, that Lee on C is a place.
And it's Lee on C as in the seaside.
Yeah, that's very good.
Not the programming language.
No.
Crashing
Sadly.
the Pips. Philippa War goes online in GTA 5 with 3 friends who have avatars that look like Philippa Forrester, Pippa Middleton and Pip Schofield. They drive around at full speed discussing life, love and lollipops until they crash into a prostitute, at which point the feature ends for the shipping forecast.
That's winning.
One last one. Penny for the Guy. One Life Left's Guy Cocker makes a series of offensive statements about minorities. Penny Arcade's Gabe and Tycho then try to defend those statements while actually making things far, far worse. I look forward to hearing these features in next week's episode. Cheerio!
Cheerio, thanks Ben. If any of our listeners want to make those features...
Specifically those people. It would be brilliant.
Do email us.
team@onelifeleft.com.
Simon.
Okay, this is from John, who is at Broken Key on Twitter. He says, "Dear team and super special guests, today marks the 2nd anniversary of the release of Skyrim, and to mark the occasion, I made a funny joke on Twitter."
Excellent.
What do you want me to describe it?
Yes.
Right, so it's a photograph joke, but
I think they're
with
called
text.
memes,
So,
Simon.
it's a meme.
Yes.
It's one of those memes.
It's a photograph joke.
What number is a photograph joke?
It's a photograph of what I presume is one of Skyrim's characters facing the screen. He's dressed as a knight.
Let's go further.
Excellent photograph joke.
Wait, there is a caption. Hang on. It says, "I reminded my wife she was sworn to carry my burdens," and then at the bottom, "and then I took an arrow to the knee." Oh wait, there's more. Wait, no, that's the end of the joke.
Okay.
And then the email continues. "What game world of the outgoing generation do you wish you had time to revisit?"
I've still not finished Skyrim. 2 years. What a wonderful 2 years it's been having. I was playing it only yesterday.
It seems like it came out less time ago.
Yeah, it really does.
Time
You have been
flies.
banging on about it, haven't you?
Yeah, it's absolutely magnificent. Yeah, I still intend. I haven't finished it. I'm gonna though. Keith, any thoughts on that?
No, I only played it for about 2 hours, and then I just stole loads of stuff from people's houses and rode up a hill, and then just got bored.
Right. Stealing not enough for you.
No.
Right.
I remember when it first came out, Steve, who's not here, so the first thing you come out that you emerge from the cave, I think, at the start, and it said go off to this village, and he walked off in the opposite direction because that's he's a maverick like that. And then didn't he roleplay as Miley Cyrus?
No,
for like
as Kelly
30 hours?
Clarkson.
Right.
Yeah, he was role-playing as
Kind of
Kelly
foraging
Clarkson.
for truffles and.
But being an independent woman.
Oh, Andy Kelly did a really interesting series of features where he role-played just being a simple woodcutter, living out
That's
a
right.
normal existence in this profoundly violent world. And it was really good.
Really good, wasn't
Not
it?
as good as Kelly Clarkson, though.
No.
Right, those were our letters this week. Thank you for those of you that wrote in. Broken Key, if you're in the UK, can you drop me a line and I'll send you the beautiful Assassin's Creed manual that was donated to us by Piggyback Interactive. And if you're not in the UK, then sorry, can you find somebody who is and we'll send it to them. Please do email us.
team@onelifeleft.com.
We're all going to be back together next week, so
the whole
it'd
family's
be
going to be
lovely
back
to
in our
hear
car.
from you.
Wake up! The revolution has begun! Generation X is in effect!
You seem to like this.
This is from another song, isn't it? Recognise it? No? Simon? Might be like Mega Blast or something, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Does it say on your sheet of paper?
See what the song's called? It's called Revolution X. Music is a Weapon. You can find that on OC Remix. There's me dawdling when we're running out of time.
Yeah. Come on.
Well, we should play that in its entirety at another point. We haven't got time, have we? We've got time. We've got to do the reviews. We've got 10 minutes of the show left.
Quick.
Anne.
I've been playing the Stanley Parable.
Have you?
Yeah, and I can't reveal anything.
Okay.
Because it would spoil the game. But two things. So much going around, it's amazing.
Right.
And secondly, it makes me feel like I'm not going to fail at a video game, which is what I fear the most from video games and what sometimes paralyses me. Made me feel like a good person.
Wow, this is an amazing game.
Yeah.
Have you finished it?
Can't say.
Well, can we talk about this afterwards? Because I've played it as well, and I'm unsure.
Yeah.
Score.
Good. So now 10.
Keith.
I've been playing Pokemon X, and I named all my... This is the first time I've ever played a Pokemon, and I named all my Pokemons after my friends and my relatives, and then I lent it...
What's ours? What's ours?
There is a OLL.
Okay.
But
is there a New Yorker?
No, there isn't. But the funny thing is, I lent it to my sons, and they took it to their nans for 2 days, and they rang me up from their nans, and I said, "How are you getting on with Pokemon?" And they said, "It's okay, but we think we might have killed Donald and Parkin." And Donald and Parkin had fainted.
Is that why Hookshot is no longer?
That's it. Yeah. Although Porter is still alive and functioning.
Okay.
He's off the bench though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's not in the top 6.
Have you been enjoying it?
Yeah, it's because I've never played it before. It's been wonderful, and I've been trying to engage with the Pokemon community and trying to get them to help me, and they've been really, really helpful. So I think it's like a really interesting, fascinating game, which is essentially what Parkin said to me. It's a very, very complicated version of rock, paper, scissors.
Score?
7 out of 10.
Simon.
I've been playing Super Mario World 3D World. Wait, one of those.
On the Wii U?
On the Wii U, yeah. It's incredible. It's incredibly good. It looks beautiful. It's a cliche that Nintendo Tokyo EAD makes the best games in the world, and commenters on these reviews always go, it's such a Nintendo fanboy, but they're so much better at this than everyone else. So, well, yeah.
Is it out yet?
But no, actually, I don't think it is.
Okay.
In a couple of
so this is a world exclusive review because I've not seen any reviews.
Yeah, actually, I'm probably under NDA.
It's totally fine. They don't count on
right?
Score it.
Yeah. So did you play the 3DS version?
Yeah.
Which was wonderful, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah.
And is this more wonderful or less wonderful?
I mean, it's wonderful in different ways, but similar.
Okay. Score?
7 out of 10.
I've just been playing Everybody's Golf. I've started the turn-based challenge with some friends on the internet of a video gaming forum that I frequent.
What was that?
Rollnook.
Okay.
I started that today. Played my first hole, lost by 4.
That will happen when you play.
Funny, people that are better than me on the internet. You're right. I'm enjoying it very much so. 7 out of 10. Now let's go back and find out what Cara has been up to.
Welcome back to Electric Dreams. So my searches for James Bond on online dating profiles have been somewhat hopeless, which probably goes some way to explaining my own hopeless love life and essentially feeble search for someone who isn't still only able to cook shop-bought pizza. However, I did find some candidates that Joanna Dark might consider dating if she was drunk. I don't really have any strong attachment to anything other than nicotine. Well, it would be at least useful if you had a strong attachment to Joanna Dark. I'm going to go into management consultancy somewhere fancy when I can be bothered to give my life to Satan and his corporate minions. I feel like Joanna Dark would infiltrate your building, and not in a sexy way. I've been travelling a fair amount, but I still feel that I should travel quite a bit more in the near future. How are you with other planets? Seriously, I am serving my country and being a great dad. Almost, but James Bond probably isn't a great dad. I imagine he's off gallivanting somewhere. And finally, I find Joanna Dark her guy. An eternal optimist, but the most cynical bastard you've ever met. Like to think I'm erudite and intellectual, but like nothing better than a week-long bender where you narrowly avoid arrest. Excellent. I feel like Joanna could really get on with this James Bond impersonator. If you are this James Bond impersonator, please get in touch. Joanna Dark would like to date you. Tune in next time for more Electric Dreams dorkishness.
Thank you ever so much, Cara. I know it was great difficulty took her in getting that feature into us today, but we're very glad that you did.
Yeah.
Good news. Right, we've got 5 minutes to go. Let's talk about a party.
Oh my goodness.
You remember the date?
14th. Wait, is it?
14th of December.
Yeah, 14th of December. Saturday the 14th of December.
What time?
6:30.
Until?
Late.
11.
Yeah.
11:30, I think.
Although I think I've sorted us an after-party venue.
Yeah?
Yeah, one of our listeners has got a hotel nearby.
Right, good news. Mm-hmm. You say our listeners. It's not just any listener, is it?
No, it's our wonderful listener. Well...
It's our caretaker.
No. He's got one in Vauxhall.
Oh, okay. Right, that's not nearby, is it?
No,
We're not going there.
No.
Okay, so how are we doing on ticket sales?
We have... remaining 62 tickets.
62. Say sales. Basically, we need, in order to get this place exclusively, like without any other podcast people coming, we needed to guarantee a minimum bar spend. So we are selling the tickets for £10, but we are putting all the proceeds beyond the badges that we're giving away behind the bar. So you will be drinking the money. If you're not wearing the money that you've spent, you'll be drinking it. So it's going to be excellent, isn't it?
Sounds like a great deal.
Keith and Simon, what are you contributing to the party?
Ho, ho, ho. Contributing exactly what I did last year, which was being Santa Claus. Everyone can come and sit on my lap and get a mystery surprise.
How did that go last year?
It went really well. I didn't really... how many people... There were people queuing up to sit on my lap.
There was a massive queue.
I know, there was, yeah. And everyone got really into it. Some people maybe a little bit too much.
Did they?
But, yeah.
Can you name names?
No, I can't. There were some photographs on Twitter, I think. I think Kieran Gillen got a photograph of him on my lap. Steve Hoggerty got a photograph of himself on my lap.
That's one of our stretch goals, is the Kieran Gillen picture.
Yeah, when we hit 50 sales
50 remaining.
50 sales down, 50 remaining, we are tweeting...
Oh, we're unleashing the Kieran Gillen on your lap picture.
Oh, wow. Okay,
which I found on my phone.
That's something worth seeing. My one ambition this year is to not miss my last train home to Somerset and spend the night sleeping on Paddington Station.
That's funny, because our one ambition for this year is to make you miss your last train home.
Simon,
bring something
what are you going to be doing?
Well, if it's anything like last year, probably standing behind Keith and watching while girls sit on his lap and then handing them a gift.
You were dressed as an elf last year, weren't you?
Yeah, glum
Do you
elf.
still have that costume?
I can probably dig that out.
Dig it out.
Yeah,
I thought you looked good. I thought you wore it well.
Thank you. Yeah, Stephen Paul came dressed as an elf, which was embarrassing for a moment and then awesome.
So, we've got 62 tickets remaining. And
You want to come to this party. It's going to be so good.
Tickets are available at oll.eventbrite.com. Is that all right with you, Keith? Actually, we didn't include Guardian in the short.
That's fine.
URL.
I'm gonna do a blog post about it as well. Hopefully, as long as my editor
Isn't
doesn't
it front
get annoyed.
page?
Let's get it front page.
I could actually do that,
Let's
although
do
it'd
it.
probably go down really badly.
Wow. And Keith, are you going to do anything else other than being Santa? Is the Guardian going to bring it with anything else?
I haven't thought of anything.
Have a think.
yet.
I think let us know.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I could get someone to suggest what the Guardian should bring to
Maybe they should keep the NSA out from watching.
Yeah.
Could do that. Everybody's welcome, aren't they?
Everybody's
including
welcome.
The NSA. Well, they already know that they're welcome.
Yeah.
Aren't they? Right, we're reaching the end of the show. I haven't even got time for any more music. Good luck with your Kickstarter.
Thank
Keith.
you very much, Simon. I
Sounds
can only
like you don't need the luck.
We'll have to see. I hope we can be as successful as you.
Have you thought of any stretch goals?
I haven't. No, I don't know. Maybe a date with me, and I can talk to you about Megadrive all night. That's if you don't pay any more money.
Playing multiplayer flicky.
Yeah.
So remind us again.
Euphemism.
Remind us again what we're searching for on Kickstarter.
Sorry. Go on, Simon.
And then Simon, we're going to finish off with you. Go on.
It's the Sega Megadrive collection. Search for Keith Stuart and Megadrive, and hopefully that will come up.
We will be backing. And Simon, we're just waiting for the boat, aren't we?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the boat will come in. So you're searching for an illustrated history of 151 video games. Great.
So it'll be out in time for Christmas, so definitely, will it?
So I'm told, yeah.
And you're definitely going to invite us to your launch party. Definitely going to invite us to your launch party.
Yep.
You're definitely going to invite us to your launch party.
In fact, invite all the listeners.
Yeah.
We'll be giving details of it next week. Thank you so much both for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Really enjoyed the show. And often I don't when I do it. That's true. But enjoyed last week's, and this week's seemed to go well as well.
Yeah, we'll be back with Steve next week. He'll be back from America telling us of all of his adventures over there. If we can shut him up.
Excellent. All right, well, thanks ever so much for listening. We follow you on Twitter, Simon, at
Simon Parkin.
And you, Keith?
At Keith Stuart.
Excellent. Thank you both for coming in.
Yeah.
Nice to see you all. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you soon.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
See you, bye.
Bye.